Bitcoin is showing some exaggerated bullish divergence. What does that mean? And well, a little bit more information afterwards. Hello Adrian, and welcome back once again to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8, and thank you for everybody. Welcome everybody who is watching all around the world. Hope you are doing well, and let's wait a few seconds to see if everything is working. The chat is working. There are some people. Hi Lex. Hi Darren. Yep, it seems to be working, but very slow. Good evening, guys. Hope everybody is doing well. Hi Monkol. Hi Aldrich. Yes, what do we have for today? It is Gatorade, but orange flavor. Orange flavor, okay? Gatorade orange flavor. Hi Nikolai, hi Adam, hi Vahe. Hope everybody is doing well. Hi Darway. So before we go into Bitcoin mode, let's take a look at what the numbers are. You missed the green candles. You missed the green candles. Yeah, me too. I miss these moments where Bitcoin is pumping. Anyways, let's take a look at some numbers. So we are close to hi Cedric. We are close to 1.7 million people. Brazil, Russia are nearing the 400, and the rest of the United Kingdom, Spain, Italy are nearing the 300. Yes, Darway, a different flavor every night, just to mix it up. You know, you have to mix it up sometimes. Hi Piotr. Hi Gita. Hi Justas. So we have 5.6 million. Hi Jeremy. Wow, a lot of the hardcore crew are back here. We're missing Henry, who is always late. So, so yeah, US is still going up. Brazil still going up. Russia as well. UK still not good. Spain slowing down but still going up. Italy the same. Yeah, I mean it seems like things are a little bit are still not good. But yeah, we are opening the economy again, and let's see what the reaction is. I'll be the endorser of Gatorade. Yeah, I think we need to contact Gatorade and yeah, ask for endorsement of this channel, sponsored by Gatorade. So that's the only. Okay, well, I don't want any sponsorship, but maybe that one I will be accepting because I accept. I would accept a lifelong endorsement of Gatorade supplies. That will be okay. Malaysia is getting worse. Oh, sad to hear that, man. Sad to hear that. Over here, in the Philippines, yeah, we're still in a lockdown. So yeah, it's been like this for the past couple of months. So I kind of am already adjusted to this lifestyle, I guess. Yeah, it's just it's not good, right? BTC never does what I want to go down, but doubt that will ever happen. Yeah, well, that's what BTC does. Usually does the opposite what you wanted to do. That's basically what BTC loves to be doing. But yeah, I kind of was expecting that. Like I said yesterday, if you watched the channel yesterday, I kind of told you guys. I don't think it was done going up just yet, for at least a little bounce, like I've spoken about yesterday. But before we go into all of the Bitcoin analysis, let's take a breather and look at this beautiful chart of the S&P. Look at this, guys. Yes, while the economy is doing bad, look at this. Look what the S&P is doing. It's just amazing. It just keeps going up, right? Just keeps going up. Like there is nothing wrong in this world. There's nothing wrong in this world. But like I said, also we are nearing a very critical point. I think around the 3,100 area or something like that. You know, things might take a wrong turn around that area over there. But let's see what happens. You never know. Things can get you know, crazier things have happened, right? But I do see Nasdaq a little bit slowing a little bit down already. Well, not really slowing down, but oh my God, it's so amazing, right? Look at this Nasdaq. What the fuck? It's just so insane. Yes, we're just gonna print money all the way to the top. That's basically what they wanted, what people want to see, and people want to do, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's not sustainable. There will be consequences, but like I said, I don't really expect real consequences this year just yet. I do think that next year is going to be a very good opportunity for buyers. That's basically what I've said and I've told everybody from the start already. So hi JG, you are the Food Panda fan, so good stuff. Hi Aldrich. Yes, Jay Constant. But that's how it is, right? We have to understand that in the trading business, the stock business, it's more about the psychology of people rather than the economy, right? So economy is one thing, but you know, psychology of people is way more important in when it comes to trading than anything else, to be honest. And yeah, when people are in fear, are scared, then they will be selling things. And when people are, you know, receiving money, I mean, like I said, right, you have to understand the situation we're in it right now. There's nobody's really producing anything. People are getting tons of money. Not only I'm not talking about retail, but I'm talking about institutions. They are getting money from the government. They're getting support. They're getting loans, and they have to put it somewhere, right? Like if nobody is producing anything or anything substantial, then yeah, they just put it into stocks and stuff like that, right? So that's the reason why it keeps going up. But like I said, it's not really sustainable. But the consequences will not come this year. The consequences most likely will be either end of this year or next year, somewhere next year. So like I said, I keep reminding people about the gum theory. I went over it I think a couple times already. Just watch one of my previous videos about the stock market. The gum theory is his charts has been very correct since forever, since hundreds and hundreds of years. And he says that panic is this year, but only next year it will be super low. So we will have an opportunity. You're right, Constant. This is not good, and like I said, consequences will be there for the people, because something that people don't understand is all this printing, all this money printing. It's a loan, right? So it has to be coming from somewhere. So most likely higher taxes, most likely lower purchasing power, inflation, and so on. So yeah, a lot of stuff. But yeah, so one of the things that I am bullish about is gold. Not that I am a fan of gold. I'm far away from a fan of gold, but the charts on the technical analysis aspects is looking very bullish, and I've been telling that for quite some time already. Although we are in sort of a retracement mode right now, we actually fell down from our falling wedge, as you can see here, falling wedge, and it broke down actually right here below every moving average, and we're actually retracing right now. Do I think that we'll be retracing quite a bit? Well, not that much. I don't think so. I think we will be bouncing somewhere around here, somewhere around 1670-ish, something like that, in that area, and most likely we'll be having a bounce back up from that area. That's the EMA 55, by the way. So I'm still very, very bullish about gold, because at one point, like with all this money printing, with all this yeah, people are gonna be running towards store of values like gold, for example. So I'm just planning myself for not for this year, like I said, for next year. And I've taken a more macro look on gold. So this is the chart that I have on the monthly basis, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. So we had a 2000 days, that's like around 5 years. 5 years we had this cup formation that we had since 1998 until around 2002, right? So 4 or 5 years, something like that, that we accumulated. And then, as you can see, after this cup formation, we basically skyrocketed, and it went from like $300 all the way towards the top, right, to like 1,700 or something like that. Yes, Daniel. TA techniques is the same across the markets, the basics, the fundamentals at least. So you can apply it to everywhere. So if you learn TA for crypto, you also are learning TA for Forex or for commodities, for everything basically. So all the fundamentals are the same, except you have to understand there are some small differences between Forex or commodities or Bitcoin, because traditional markets, they are not open 24/7 like crypto. Crypto is traded 24/7. So for example, I'll give you a small example, right? When I'm looking at a moving average, usually for example, a simple moving average, it will work better. The 20 will work better for traditional markets, because usually it's only 20 days open in a month, right? So it kind of makes sense. But I put the SMA for 30 on the crypto for crypto, because that works better, because crypto is open and trading the whole month, right? It never closes. So so there's a couple of small things that that are different, but the fundamentals in terms of like theories and stuff like that, and crosses, bearish crosses, bullish crosses, RSI, all of that is exactly the same fundamentals as. So if you know how to trade crypto, you also know how to trade commodities or traditional markets. But there are small differences, and they are important, right? I'm not saying they're not important. Like for example, if you would be looking at a dead cross, you are in the stock market, you will be looking at the 50 and the 200, while in the crypto currency market, I am using the 55 and the 200, because, well, if you back test everything, you'll see that some things just work better onto crypto, and some things just work better on traditional markets. But there are small differences, but yeah, you learn it along the way, right? You learn it along the way. But other than that, yeah, if you actually, to be honest, if you know how to trade crypto, you probably adjust better towards learning how to trade traditional markets, rather than somebody who is learning, somebody who's really good at traditional market trading. For him to switch over to crypto, it's most likely harder for that person, because the market moves so fast that because if you are trading traditional markets, usually you are actually looking at maybe a 1 hour chart or something like that, and you're using very high leverage, because everything is moving very, very slowly. While if you're trading crypto, I never go below the 4 hour really, because it's just so crazy. The swings are just so crazy. So there's no need to be rushing on anything when you're trading crypto. There's always an opportunity the next day or something like that. It's just it's just so insane. So for somebody who is learning how to trade, I actually advise people to be learning how to trade crypto, and then from that move over into commodities or traditional stock markets. You most likely will be adjusting faster and better, because you will learn that the swings are insane, and shit happens, and shit happens a lot, and and so on and so on. And also, when you have a bull market, everybody is basically a genius, right? You can't do anything wrong. You just buy the dip, right? And for the people who have been trading traditional markets, we have been in a bull market for the last 10 years, right? So for people who are trading commodities, I don't want to be judgmental or anything like that, but it wasn't that it wasn't that hard. Let's put it like that. I don't think it was that hard, but yeah, of course you still have to be doing it. So no offense, no offense. But yeah, a lot of traders will be hating me for saying that, but that's just my opinion, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice, so whatever you do with your money, it's your own thing. So yeah, anyways, back to my gold. So we accumulated, as you can see, like a cup formation for around 5 years, something like that, and then we have a very nice pump. And actually, if you watch now, between, let's say, 2013 to 2019, where we are last year, where we're in right now, we kind of have the same pattern that we are seeing right here, where we are some sort of a accumulation phase, right? Very, very slowly sideways, and then, as you can see right now, since last month or something like that, we're actually breaking above that cup, as you can see. So for me, that is showing for me that it's a very bullish chart. You can't really deny it. So even if the price goes down a little bit here until like 1600, even if it was 1600 or something like that, I would still be bullish, because this long accumulation phase is ready to be pushed up. And then and definitely now, where we are in an economy where things are not, it will have some effect, right? It will have some effect. The amount of oversupply, or the amount of trillions of currency that is being pushed on the market, it will have some devaluation or inflation on the markets. Maybe not now. Like I said, things on the traditional market work very, very slowly, but it will happen. So for and I'm not really like a super fan of gold. I actually hate because it's so hard to be buying and storing and this and that. It's you have so many questions about what is real, what is fake, what is guaranteed, what is licensed. If you are serious about investing into gold, there's quite a lot of things that you have to go through before you can actually purchase real gold or something like that. So but overall, like I said, this is pure technical analysis, no opinion or anything like that. And that's how I trade. I don't trade my opinion. If I feel although I hate something, like for example, I don't really like gold, I would prefer to put my money into Bitcoin. But if the chart is telling me that gold is something that is looking to break out and something that has a very big upside, then I'll be investing to it, as long as it's not something very unethical. For example, if we're talking about stocks from like weapons companies or something like that, that's an ethical thing. Although sometimes it looks bullish to be investing in it, I will just personally not invest in it. That's just because of ethical reasons, right? I'm not going to ever support those kind of companies or those kind of stocks. Although some people will not care about all of those things and just say whatever, it's making me money, so I'm gonna put my money into it. But yeah, that's for me personally. Those are the only things that basically stop me from investing or buying something. But other than that, if the charts are telling me like, oh, this looks very, very bullish, then I'll be investing into it, and at least some part of my portfolio, right? So like I keep saying, diversification of a portfolio is super important. Never put like all in 100% into something. I hear it all the time. Oh my God, I got all my money into crypto and that's it, you know, like that's it. I think that's a very dangerous thing, because you never know. You really never know. Although I'm a strong believer of Bitcoin, but you know, why would you be risking everything, right? Yeah. So gold ETFs is definitely something that is very interesting, right? So I'll be honest, I do have some gold ETFs as well, because you know that it's the easiest way to get gold. Let's put it like that. So gold ETFs is definitely something that is interesting, right? But there is a really, like, I'm worried about the future, like not now, like I said, but when there's like a super high demand for gold, and people are actually scared and fear, and definitely, and that can happen, right? When the fiat, your dollars or your euros or anything, or your currency is inflating like crazy, people will want to have the gold physically, and that's where I am worried that there will be a problem, because if the production of gold cannot keep up, if people all go to their banks or their agents and ask for physical gold, and then the company cannot supply because their reserves is not sufficient, because the problem with gold is the same problem with fiat, right? Companies will only have in stock and store a percentage of what they are selling, and definitely if it's ETF or something like that. So yeah, it's something that you should be thinking about as well, right? So yeah. Yeah, silver is silver is the poor man's choice. Well, if you understand, if you watch one of my previous videos, I'm talking about Gresham's law, and Gresham's law is basically what it's saying is people will always be the bad money is always going to be overtaking the good money, and silver and gold is a little bit the same thing, right? So when you have gold and you have silver, well, people will want to be spending or getting rid of gold. Of silver. Of getting rid of silver, but holding gold. So at the end of the day, silver will be flooding the market, right? So it will be everywhere, because that's considered the bad money, right? So that's the reason why silver is actually, you know, very low. But do I think that silver has a potential as well to be moving up? Yeah, I do think so, because although the silver, it's not going to be like, you know, that crazy and that safe, but I wouldn't mind putting putting something into silver as well, right? I mean, there's some potential there as well if we're looking at cheaper alternatives, let's put it like that. But would I be putting a lot into it? No, I wouldn't be putting a lot. Like I said, usually what happens is the bad money is the first thing that gets thrown out first, or people spending it first, and then the good money is what gets held for the longest period until you cannot hold it anymore. That's basically what usually happens. But yeah, so if you can see here for gold, 5 years, as you can see that we are forming this this cup. Let's call it the wok because I'm Asian, so this is the wok, and we're cooking for 5 years, and then we let it roll, and then we have a wok here once again, and as you can see, it's also around 5 years, and then I do believe in the next couple of years we are going to let it roll as well. That's I mean, that's what this chart is basically telling me, right? Would you recommend gold-backed cryptos? Yeah, once again, why not? It's a possibility, but you know, like I hear all of these stories. It's backed by gold. It's backed by gold. I don't know what the reality is, right? Where is the gold from? How are they backing it towards gold? There's a lot of questions that has to be asked. And if the crypto is backed by gold, you know, like who is holding ownership of the gold? Where's the gold being stored? And so on, right? yeah. Have you tried getting physical gold? If you have been trying to get physical gold, you'll have pretty much the same issues though. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, and in the short term, we broken down of this falling wedge, so that's not good. Do I think that we have more downwards pressure? Yeah, most likely we have more downward pressure in the short run though. In the short run, we have more downward pressure. As you can see here on the daily, we can see that the Stokes are still down. RSI is of course also way down below the EMA. But like I said, we are forming some sort of like a falling wedge on the RSI as well. So I don't think we'll be going that much lower. As you can see, if we do something like this here, so at one point we'll be breaking up from that falling wedge as well. I mean, highest probability, right? So yeah, where am I interested in getting some extra gold is on this spot here, where the EMA 55 is, right? Where my green line is actually, see. Yeah, somewhere around that area is where I am interested into getting more gold, because I do believe, like I said, this is just hedging because if the stock market is going to start crashing or something like that, then you know. What is my opinion on future crypto regulations coming from big nations as USA if the Russian ban comes? Well, yeah, they can try to put the regulations on it, but most likely it will fail. The reason why is because, like I said, they cannot steal your bitcoins, right? They cannot. It's not like gold. It's not like a bank where they can just say like, okay, we're taking your money. They cannot take your bitcoins. That's the big difference. And what if they close down the exchanges? Sure, they can close down the exchanges, but most of the exchanges are put on some islands. They have licenses in Malta and Curacao and those kind of countries. They're not gonna be able to touch it. And then we also have decentralized exchanges that are coming, where then absolutely they cannot be touching. So although they tried to and get regulations and stuff like that, but it's very hard to be stopping it right now anymore. It's I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very hard to be stopping it. They can try, but I think the best chance right now, and that's what they're doing right now, is to get a centralized coin, right? Like what China is doing, and they're saying they're gonna release it in 2022 during the next Olympic Games or something like that. They'll be introducing the digital yuan. So yeah, I think that's more likely, right? Where we will have a digital dollar, we will have a digital euro, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's more probable. So embracing the technology, but trying to control it, right? Trying to control it. So that's what I think. But will they be able to control Bitcoin or something like that? No, I don't think they will. They'll be able to, because like I said, as long as people are mining. So yeah. Hi Engi, you took profit at 9,100. Good for you. Good for you. So I just wanted to be quickly, I still am overall, I mean, macro very bullish on gold, and I do believe in the next couple of months we'll most likely be heading towards this area, this green box here, and in no time, I think in a couple of months or something like that. Hi Laxman. Currently I am in a long. I've been in a long from yesterday, so yeah, I'm still in a long. So we've been over the gold thing. Let's go into Bitcoin right now, which is most likely what everybody is more interested in. So We've spoken about it yesterday. Although we made a little bit a detour, like we went a little bit lower than I expected, but overall the what I expected was a push towards at least this green box here. And like I said, if we are starting to close above this green box right here, most likely I'll be looking at the price going towards the 9.5k area or something like that. That's basically what I'm still expecting. That's something what I have been expecting yesterday, as well as I'm still expecting today as well. So that doesn't really change for me much. But let's analyze a little bit for how come that I was still pretty bullish, and how come I was telling you guys that most likely we'll be breaking up and not down. Well, first of all, I've been talking to you guys already. We've had this major support 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So I said, listen, the indicators that we're saying, we're looking at the Stokes, the RSI, everything is really very low right now. So very low right now. So why would we do we have the chance that we break that green box or that major support zone? Very unlikely, right? Like, I'm not saying it's impossible. Like I said, it's not impossible, but it's more unlikely than likely. And like I said, if we would break the green box, then we have our beautiful two points here to put a very tight stop loss or switch over into a short. So it was very contained, the risk. So as a trader, you should always think about longing resistances and shorting longing supports. Ooh. As a trader, you should always be thinking about longing support, longing support, and shorting resistances. I mean, that's what trading is about, right? So I was pretty confident that we would have at least a bounce towards our green box in the middle, this one here, this green box here. And if we are starting to close things above this green box, then most likely I do expect us to go all the way towards our next green box around the 9.5k. Be careful, we can also be rejected at this previous high just before the green box as well. So it's not like necessarily 100% sure that we'll be getting to that green box, but somewhere around there is very likely if we start closing some candles above this green box here, right? So how do we get how do we kind of know that that price was going to be pushing? Well, first of all, like I said, we have some sort of a falling wedge here as I've drawn, and that was matching, of course, my RSI, and I went over that yesterday. We had a falling wedge on the RSI, and although it looked very weak when we broke out, it usually, like I said, it usually breaks up, right? And like I also did this yesterday. If we make a measured move, measured moves of this wedge, we can clearly see that we should be getting towards around the 55 area or something like that, 55, before we get a rejection or something like that, right? So for me, it was, I was quite confident that we would be getting at least to the first green box. Do we get to the second green box? That's a more harder question, but I still believe that we have more potential to be going up a little bit more, and we'll go through that in a second. So we have this falling wedge structure. So we broke up from it, and we can see here, if we make a measured move somewhere around here, see, measured move is saying that we basically reach our target, right? So if we just look at the measured move, we kind of should be thinking about taking profit here at this block, actually, right? So yeah, I mean, for me, that's easy, and it's also what I've said yesterday. I'm going to be taking profits and closing around my first block, because I am not sure that we have the chance to be going up higher. But how things are looking right now, it actually looks quite good, and I do think that we will have continuation. But at this point, I'm not really interested in entering a position. Didi. I'm not interested in entering position right now because although we have a good chance that we can go up more and one more, for me this is a little bit too risky because, like I said, I've already made my measured move, and this is kind of the most non-risk spot to be closing my long. So that's basically it, right? So let's not be greedy and close our position right here and just take our profits. So okay. Other than that, we have the main title, or the main concept of today, and that is exaggerated bullish divergence. And that's one of the reasons why I also was very bullish, because we had exaggerated bullish divergence. And what is exaggerated bullish divergence? Let's go to our divergence cheat sheet. It's this one on the bottom here, and I see that it is not completely, so I'll move it a little bit. 1 second. I'll move it a little bit up. Oh, fuck. Can we see it? Can we see it? No, we cannot see it. God damn it. Epic fail. Epic fail. Okay, let's move it a little bit higher here. 1 second. Oh, God damn it. Ah, okay. Woo. Here, so it's this one here, right? So where the price basically makes a sideways moves, double bottom, let's call it double bottom, but the RSI makes a higher low, right? Okay, that's basically what I wanted to say. So yeah, and if we look at the 4-hour chart, let's go back to our chart and we put our line chart here, then we can see it more clearly. As you can see here, we can clearly see here that we have the price made a double bottom type, right? Double bottom, and we can see on the RSI, what did the RSI do from that spot here, from this spot here. Oh, it went from that spot, it made a higher low, as you can see here. Boom, ta-da! And what do we call that? Yes, exaggerated bullish divergence. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I kept saying, like, yeah, most likely we'll be at least reaching this this target right here. Am I going to take any risk anymore? No, I'm not going to take my risk anymore. Do I think that we are going to go a little bit higher towards the 9.5k? Yes, I do believe that we'll most likely get to the 9.5k area. But for me, it's as a trader, it's a little bit too risky for me to be entering a trade right at that spot. What I am interested in is taking a short position at the 9.5k though. That's what I'm interested in. Well, the reason why, like I keep explaining, what we are trying to do is always to be longing at support levels but shorting at resistances. And if you see here, if we are moving up towards around the 9.5k, we'll be hitting this major resistance zone once again. This resistance zone here, of course, we're not going to go there immediately in one day. Well, most likely not, but let's say the price does something like this, where we go down a little bit, then go back up, go back down, and go back up, something like this, right? If price does something like this and we get to around our 9,500 area, that's a shorting spot for me, because, well, once again, we would be creating a lower lower highs, and yeah, for me that's a nice shorting position right there. But I've also told you guys that yesterday as well, that most likely I'll be trying to be shorting in that position rather than keeping my long for a really long time. So out of the position, took my profits. We made, everybody who did something made a nice amount of money, but I do believe that most likely we'll be trending up after maybe some consolidation around this phase, and then going towards this 9.5k area or something like that. Will it happen fast? Yeah, it most likely will have to happen very fast. Okay, the reason why I think it will happen very fast is the CME futures, right? So if we just type in CME futures expiration date, let's take a look, and as you can see here, Bitcoin CME futures will be expiring, of course, when the 29th of May. 29th of May, that is when? In 2 days, okay? That's in 2 days. So 29th of May, the CME futures are going to be closing. So first of all, like what Nikolai said, this was our gap, and our gap got filled because most gaps get filled on the CME chart. So we can remove that that box because the gap got filled, right? So where am I expecting the next resistance phases? Well, you can see it here. Here, this is the 9.5K area. This order block here. Between 9.5 and 9.6, but well, 9.6 is basically on the spot price, around 9.5 on the spot price, and of course, and then we have our major resistance zone here, which is between 9.8 and 10K basically, right? So do I think that that it will go up to that area? Most likely not, because of our of course of our diagonal line, right? So our diagonal trend line, something like this, I guess. Yeah, something like this. So yeah, do I think that we will get somewhere near to that box? Yeah, most likely yes. But do I think that we will get rejected from that box? Yes, most likely also yes. So anyways, back to some theories, okay? Once again, this is just my personal thoughts or personal opinion, so whatever you do with it, this is your own. Nobody, please, like I said, I'm wrong all the time, so don't hate me if if I'm wrong or something like that. But anyways, here's my thought, right? So the May 29, the futures will be expiring. For people who don't know, who don't understand how futures work, basically you buy a future and it gets settled on the date that it closes or it expires. So let's say on the 1st of May, you bought a future at, for example, last month, right? So let's go to the monthly chart. Boop. So let's put on let's say you bought here here in April at like $7,000. You had it at $7,000, and then basically you're waiting for it to expire at a very high price because you were longing it, right? And I'm just talking about people who long the expiration date. So if you bought it at 7,000 and the contract expires at 9,500, for example, then it's a monthly settlement, Darwin. So I'm just explaining how monthly contracts work. So basically you are buying a contract, and after 1 month it expires, right? So for example, you bought it at on the 1st of April, and it will expire the next month. So what happens is, if you are longing, of course you want the price to be as high as possible at the expiration date. That's kind of logical, right? If you're shorting, of course you want the price to be as low as possible at the expiration date. So this month, the amount of people that have positions on the CME has been record. Like, we have the most amount of Bitcoin ever, contracts on the CME ever. And the reason for that is, of course, the halving, right? So the CME, the people who are trading CME obviously were banking on the halving situation to be very bullish, right? So they were aware that there will be a lot of free advertising, free marketing, and retail people would be buying Bitcoin and so on, and everybody would be saying, buy Bitcoin now, the halving is going to make you rich. You know, that's what everybody was talking about on Twitter, right? Halving is going to make you, look at this. It was look what happened before in the halving. In the first time there was a halving, and the second time there was halving. Look at that, it went up 10,000%. You should be buying because the halving is coming, and the halving is going to make you rich. Well, first of all, they didn't watch my video about halvings, which you should be doing, because you then clearly could see the difference between the first halving, the second halving, and the third halving right now, where the situation on a technical aspect is very different, right? We had a major downtrend coming into the halving, the third halving, while we had a bullish accumulation during the first halving and the second halving. But like I said, go to my video section and go to Bitcoin halving, and you'll hear all about that and what my opinion is and why it is different this third time than the first two times. Anyways, so the people who are trading, the institutions, they were banking on the fact that they would get free advertising. So the amount of contracts for the month of May was the highest ever on the CME exchange, and of course most of them are long, right? So most of them are long on their contract because they are banking on the fact that retail would be buying Bitcoin because of the free advertising. So expiration is coming. What do you think that they were going to do? Well, of course, they will want to expire. Like I said, they want to have the max amount of profits, right? So what will happen is they want to have the highest price as possible. So they will be pushing up the price. So that's one of the reasons why I am not short-term, not bearish at all. Because I do believe that, they will be propping up the price to get the price somewhere, like I said, around the 9.5K, which is a perfect number for them. That will be they'll be able to make a lot of profits and so on and so on. So that's what I'm expecting. So by Friday or something like that, most likely we'll just keep moving sideways a little bit, and then pump up towards this 9.5K or something like that. Do I think that we will go higher than 9.5K? That's more unlikely. Like I said, this lower high structure is kind of very, very bad for Bitcoin, and it looks like it's going to take a very big dump after the contracts are going to be closed, because you have to understand this. So when you want to enter a short, when do you want to enter a short? At the price that is as high as possible, right? So what do I expect? CME expiration date, it's gonna go up, it's gonna expire, and at that point I think a ton of CME contracts will be going into a short. Why? Well, because it's rather simple. The free advertising and the free marketing is gone. The halving advertising, the free marketing is gone. Secondly, we have miners capitulation, so a lot of Bitcoin is going to be sold off by miners that are unable to be profitable anymore. Those with all the S15 are not profitable anymore, so they will be selling or stopping down their business and selling. Secondly, we have the miners hash rate and difficulty adjustment that has been going on, and that's usually also not very bullish for Bitcoin as well. So what am I expecting? Price most likely be still going up towards around 9.5, 9.6, and then on the 29th, when the contracts expire and get moved on towards the next month, most likely we'll have a major dump. That's basically what my theory is, or my perspective is, and it kind of matches up with what the technical analysis is saying as well, right? So let's go into the technical analysis. That was the my theory part in terms of like the CME and in terms of like expirations date of CME, but we can also confirm that with technical analysis, right? So first of all, we can clearly see that this major resistance zone has not been broken just yet, right? Although we are bullish, I mean, some people at least are bullish that we are breaking over. It hasn't happened yet. So as long as it doesn't happen, can't say that it's positive news. So as if we manage to somehow break above 9.8K, I'll be turning into a bull, and I'll be longing the shit out of Bitcoin. That's basically what I'm gonna do. So I don't really care. But what I'm thinking is most likely it's gonna be rejected once again, and we're gonna create another lower high, and then it becomes really problematic. Like I said, then we will have some structure like this where we are forming a descending triangle, right? And although maybe we can make another bounce or something like that, but eventually it will most likely be breaking towards the downside rather than the upside. Where can we see that there is miners capitulation? Well, we can see the hash ribbons, right? Hash ribbons are currently showing, as you can see here, it is marked here, capitulation. And we have never had a situation where we had capitulation back to back in such a short period with a very, very small amount of bullishness in between. That's the reason why I'm saying that this third halving is something very, very different than having number one and having number two, right? And this also shows it once again on the miners as a perspective that we are having capitulation. Okay, so other than that, let's take a look at the momentum indicators that is showing us what is possibly going to happen. So let's take a look at the expected moves chart first. So expected moves chart is saying first standard deviation to the top side is 9,313. So that's basically a close above the green box. So if that happens, then obviously I am expecting continuation towards the next green box around 9.5k. And the bottom of the first standard deviation is at 9,006. So 9,006 is a beautiful number because it doesn't absolutely break nothing in terms of bearish structure or anything like that at all. So even if we break down towards a 9k or make a pullback towards 9k, we are still above the EMA 21 on the 4 hour. We are still above all the major moving averages. So like I said, expected move chart is actually showing more continuation or more chance towards continuation because it doesn't break any critical structure or anything like that. Okay, so other than that, we can see the Stokes on the 12-hour chart is starting to curl up. It started to curl up yesterday already, but today we are actually seeing the confirmation, right? So we can curl back up. Do we have a lot of space to be going up? Yes, of course. But do I think that we will be going all the way up? I think we're going to get out of the bearish control zone somewhere around here. And then we're going to most likely be curling down. That's what I'm expecting. But who knows, right? Who knows? Other than that, let's take a look at the RSI. RSI is, of course, above the EMA. And as you can see, it will be crossing down below 8,988. So if we are closing below... basically below 9,000, we'll be crossing down the EMA, right? So that would be not that good. But expected moves charts is saying that the chances that we'll be closing at 8,988 below is pretty low. So yeah, there you have it. Then on the 4-hour chart, let's take a look at the momentum on the 4-hour chart. Why is it so slow? Okay, it's here. So Stokes are curling up. As you can see, we still have some space to be going up here, most likely towards around this bullish control zone here. I think we're gonna get rejected there, but we still have some space to be going. So yeah, more likely to be inclined to be going up more than down in the short term. As you can see here, RSI is making a very nice bounce and is above the EMA as well. So yeah, no issues there on the short term, right? So do I believe that we have some continuation? Yes. Do I think it's still safe to be going into a trade or something like that? For me, it's a little bit too risky. I've closed my long position. I've took position and I've closed it around my green box already. So I'm good. I think it's probabilities are quite high because first of all, we are not near the May 29, but crazier things have happened, right? Crazier things have happened. But I do believe that over the next couple of days, we will, go sideways, and then most likely end up towards that 9.5k area. That's That's what I am expecting, at least. But in a trader's perspective, I'm setting up myself for a nice short move, starting around this green box here, because I do believe that we're going to create another lower high, and I do believe that we are going to get a huge dump. And I'm talking about like maybe like $1,000 or something like that towards the downside. That's what I am expecting. Why am I expecting it? Let's take a look on the daily chart, and you will understand why I'm expecting it. So, where's my daily chart? Okay, let's put it on a normal histogram. As you can see here, HVP has been contracting, and if we kind of make a triangle or something like that, a triangle here, yeah, it's getting really low. HVP is at 10 right now. It's at 10 right now. So yeah, and the next, like I said, this is the triangle. In the next 1 or 2 days, it will most likely be flashing yellow, red, or something like that, right? So yeah, that's basically the reason why I am very you know, there's going to be a big move before the end of the month, and that's quite normal, because like I said, the expiration of the CME is going to be very powerful, and when price is at the top, I do believe that next month they will be shorting that, because the free promotion is gone. Miners are going to be capitulating, and from 9.5k, that's like a crazy dream position for CME traders, I feel. So yeah, I'm just following what their mindset, or what their thoughts would be. But yeah, like I said, on the technical analysis aspect, we can clearly kind of see the same. It's pulling up, but like I said, I do believe that the Stokes are going to be pulling up towards around this area here. Retest of the sort of the channel that the Stokes have been broken down from, retest from here, something like this. So over the next couple of days, make something like this and then get rejected down. That's basically what I am expecting. And yeah, let's see if it really happens or not, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. So trading traders perspective, because we don't really know what will happen, or what can happen. We always have to put in a master plan or strategy, if in case that it doesn't happen, right? In case that it doesn't happen, that we are still prepared to, and that we are still making money if in case we are still wrong. But that's my main theory, or my main plan right now. I'm still seeing continuation of the bullish trend, and I do expect us to go a little bit sideways, and then we are most likely going to be going up towards William. Yeah, I usually check out Nasdaq, S&P for on this public channel, but yeah. But yeah, other than that, I do trade all kinds of stocks myself personally, but there's only, you know, I only want to keep this channel for like a show of like an hour, and because after an hour my voice becomes a little bit raspy, and I just get too tired to be continuing. Sometimes when there's like a lot of interactivity and a lot of questions, I try to go on, but usually I tend to be taking it at 1 hour, and usually that's what most people are interested about, either Bitcoin or S&P or like the major stocks, indexes. That's the reason why. But myself, yeah, of course I trade all kinds of stocks. Yeah. So once again, short term, I do expect us for the next couple of days, before the expiration date, most likely be slowly floating up towards around this 9.5k area. We'll see how things are in the next couple of days. So that's the reason why I'm out of this trade right now, because I want to see what happens before the 29, right? So that we all know and are aware that the 29 is a very important date. So let's see what the price does, and from there we can, you know, make more predictions, not really predictions, make more profitable trades, right? So, but we always have to have a master plan ready in our mind. I mean, that's how I work, at least. So my master plan is the following. I'm just gonna wait it out for the next couple of days, because I do believe that because HVP is telling me that we're gonna have a gigantic move, most likely by the end of this month, or the next day of the month or something like that. So that's basically what I'm looking for, aiming for, to make money. That will be the money move for this month once again, right? So we're just waiting right now, but I do believe that we are going to go sideways and moving up towards this 9.5k area. Do I think that we will break it? Maybe, but yeah, maybe, but I don't think it will be going that much higher than 9.5k or anything like that. But let's see. Like I said, probability is there, but I will be starting to get into a shorting position around this area here. Where do things go wrong? Well, it's quite simple, right? If things go wrong, if we are going to be breaking this this red box, then most likely start closing above it, then we'll most likely be going towards this 9.8k area, right? So risk management wise, I think it's quite tight and quite easy as well, because we can clearly see here, we can look at these two beautiful candles, as you can see here. That will be my stop loss area. If we spike above this this red doji candle, like I said, a doji is something that is, for a lot of people, they hate it because the doji is an indecision candle. But for me, I love dojis. That's what I love, because they give me a lot of protection. Because if the price goes above that doji, it means that there's strength in the market, and that means it's a perfect spot for me to be putting my stop loss. If the price spikes below the doji, it means there is a lot of weakness in the market, and that's where I'll be stopping the price. And you know, those are the things that are so important into trading, and a lot of people don't appreciate the simplicity of it, the simplicity of a doji candle. You know, it's such a beautiful candle. It's indecision, you don't know, and that's actually what my trade name should be. You know, a lot of people are asking me, so is the price going to go up or is the price going to go down? I'm a doji candle, man. I'm a doji candle, but I'll be trading the doji. Okay, that's it. Trade the fucking doji. Which means if the price breaks this doji candle on the upside, I'll be stopping my position and I will revert it into a long, because most likely it will be going up towards this 9.8k area. So even though we make a small loss into this position, most likely we'll be making the profit from this, and that will cover up your loss, your loss anyways from this, and you'll still be making money even though you're wrong, right? So this doji candle is going to be the most important one in case our short or our master plan doesn't work out. Okay, to the downside. To the downside, it's more simple, right? It's the same as what we had yesterday. If we are breaking down below this green box and we are going below these two beautiful two candles here on the daily, these two beautiful candles here on the daily, then most likely we'll be heading down towards this green box on the bottom here. So that's it. Until then, if nothing happens that is tickling my trader's instinct, then I'll just be sitting on the sideways and be waiting, right? We'll be waiting. But for now, I am bullish, short-term bullish. Like I was yesterday, I was short-term bullish. But the money is not where the well, we already made our money. Could we make more money? Yes, most likely. So you know, it's very probable. As you can see right now, it looks like it wants to be closing, and we'll see in the next three hours and a half if it closes above this green box. Most likely we'll be heading towards at least 9.3k or something like that, at least here around this area here, because that's our previous high, right? So around this area here, most likely 9.3. Then let's see what happens there. Most likely maybe some rejection at at 9.3, then some back down here, and then something like this. That's something that's very, very probable. That's right. But yeah, other than that, I hope everybody's happy. We've learned something today. I hope exaggerated bullish divergence, some falling wedges, some trading strategies, and yeah, it's gonna be very exciting, guys. I see when CME expiration dates comes. I have a feeling that we're gonna be dropping $1,000. It's really what I'm feeling, and we're gonna make a shitload of money by shorting this. I think so. I mean, that's the plan. That's the massive plan. From 9.5k all the way down to like 8k area. That's I think that's the money move. I think that's the money move. I think that's gonna be the money move. But yeah, until it happens, we cannot be celebrating or anything like that, right? We cannot be celebrating. But yeah, that's always been my perspective. Take advantage of the volatility of the price rather than be trying to be guessing and trying to control the market, because we cannot control the market. If the market says I want to go to 10,000, the market is going to go to 10,000. There's nothing you can say or do against it, right? So rather than that, put a master plan ready, right? But it doesn't mean that you'll be right. But if your master plan doesn't work out, make sure you have another plan when things go wrong. And like I said, that's what risk management is all about, right? That's what risk managers is all about. We'll be following this up once again tomorrow, same time, same place, on YouTube and on Facebook Live, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. If you have friends that are interested in this type of content, that are not haters, please like, share, and recommend them, because we always want to have more people in this discussion and more people to be interacting and asking questions and talking and ranting about cryptocurrency. It's good for the market. It's good for everybody. But yeah, I think that's a long enough stream for today. So yeah, wish you all the best, and see you guys tomorrow.